Fans throughout the world worship his words. Heavy metal rock star Jeremy Wagner has written more than 70 published songs and played lead guitarist with Broken Hope and is currently with the band Lupara. But now he's taken his songwriting to a whole new level. The Armageddon Chord is his debut novel and is being called the world's first heavy metal thriller, featuring a guitarist caught between the forces of good and evil. Jeremy Wagner joins us now. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, how are you?
It's wonderful to have you here.
It's great being here. Thank you so much.
So how did this book come about for you?
Well, I'd been a guitar player since I was 13, basically, and always into heavy metal, and I've always strived, if you will, to write the heaviest song possible, or the heaviest guitar riff. So that's kind of where the seed was planted. I thought everything I write fiction-wise is a what-if scenario. So it was, what if a guitarist wrote the heaviest riff heard by man and it caused global destruction or something. Now, that sounds kind of cheesy, and I realized it was sort of like, okay, that's a little too over the top, but I still like that idea of a very powerful song that could do something extraordinary, that the whole world would be either in jeopardy or some high-stakes situation of danger.
And this is really more than just good versus evil. It has a lot of religious findings in this book. I mean, you talk a lot about God and Satan.
Yeah, right. And Egyptian history is all intertwined. And it's basically for anyone who subscribes to, say, you know, a religion that believes in the Bible, there's an apocalypse, like in the book of Revelation, and Satan is supposedly locked up somewhere. So this song in the book, my book, is a key to unlocking the apocalypse.
Let's take a look at this book trailer that everybody should watch right now.
Great.
Deep beneath the sands of Egypt, an ancient and evil song is discovered. Once performed, the song will ignite the apocalypse and unleash hell on Earth. The Armageddon Chord, the debut novel from Jeremy Wagner.
Now, this book, how would you describe it? I mean, it doesn't really fit in any specific genre.
Right. I'm known as a horror author based on short fiction that I've published, and I still write horror. I'm a member of the Horror Writers Association. But this particular book, just with the music theme and the thriller horror aspect, is what my publisher refers to as a new genre that they've dubbed the heavy metal thriller, if you will. So maybe I've created something new.
Now, the protagonist in the book, Kirk Visto.
Correct.
Is there a little bit of him in, a little bit of you in him?
Yes, yep. The Kirk Visto the name is based off of two of my favorite guitarists, Kirk Hammett of Metallica, and Steve Vai, who's a world-renowned guitar god or guitar hero who I really, really like. So the main protagonist, not just the names alone, but his backstory is loosely based on those two guitarists that are real-life guitarists. And then my own experiences as a touring death metal guitarist is in there a bit as well. So are some of the experiences Kirk Visto has with agents and being in bands and working with other people, that type of thing, yeah.
The name of the book is Armageddon Chord. Have you always been fascinated by the Armageddon?
I have to a certain level, I guess. I didn't grow up going to church every Sunday or anything, and but I was drawn. I've always been drawn to scary stuff, you know, since I was a little kid, and wrote scary stories in grade school. So the book of Revelation in the Bible appealed to me because I was drawn to that imagery you know, very scary things going on once Armageddon or the apocalypse happens, you know, the rapture and then the world being left to demons and, you know, hellish creatures and the devil basically reigning over the earth. That type of thing caught my attention.
But the book itself is really about a lot of things.
Yeah.
About your faith.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe that?
Yeah. It is, with the protagonist, it's definitely a journey through his point of view. And he's a very good-hearted person, very ethical, but his religion has always been music only. And he's always sought, you know, to take a higher road with what he creates musically. So on this journey where he's caught between forces of good and evil, his eyes are open to, you know, accepting things he normally wouldn't have believed in, and how he handles it and what his outcome will be with the direction he takes.
You started writing at a very young age. Mm-hmm. So which came first? Short stories or writing for or songwriting?
It was definitely writing short stories. The first thing I ever wrote that I still have when I was 6 years old was a novelization, if you will, of a made-for-TV movie called The Last Dinosaur. And, you know, it was like a guy in a rubber suit dressed as a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something, and I was like, wow, this is the most awesome movie I've ever seen. And I quickly, off of memory, wrote the novelization of that TV
So you've always
movie.
had this love for words.
Yeah, and I started reading like at 3, and always picked up my mom's, you know, paperback novels as I got older, and so the writing came first. Yeah.
Now, you are writing, we're wrapping up, we have a very few minutes left, but
Sure.
Let's talk about some of your new books. You're already working on 2 new books?
I have 2 new books since the Armageddon Chord. I'm editing both at the same time. I'm writing way faster than I used to. I get like a first draft done in like 3 months. So they're standalone, no music related at all. They're just both horror novels with their own stamp on them, and they're definitely scary.
We should say some of your best, your favorite authors that you like to read are people like Michael Crichton.
Yep.
Stephen King.
Stephen King. Thomas Harris.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, Jeremy Wagner, we just want to wish you well.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
You're welcome. Jeremy Wagner's debut novel is, again, The Armageddon Chord, and it hits stores on August 22nd. Visit thearmageddonchord.com or jeremy-wagner.com. And stay with us. We have more Connecticut Style right after this.